process till it is consumed. So there are some changes that occur in the milk during milking and after milking during storage. These are desirable changes and undesirable changes in the milk. The desirable changes and undesirable changes in the milk are caused by the microorganisms or the contaminated microorganisms present in the milk. On standing, unsterilized milk rapidly ferments with the production chiefly of lactic acid from the lactose of the medium. The first stage is believed to be a hydrolysis of the lactose to one molecule of glucose and one molecule of galactose. In the second stage, the hexose are fermented to lactic acid. It is generally stated that the acidity of milk is first detected by test when the pH drops to about 6. As the acid concentration continues to increase, it eventually causes the precipitation of casein. This is said to occur when the pH reaches 4.78 and 4.6 to 4.64. Boiling produces a curdling of milk at a higher pH or lower acidity. The acidity continues to rise until the concentration is sufficient to prevent growth of bacteria producing the fermentation. The lactic acid produced in the milk prevents the growth of most of the bacterial types likely to present and thus act as a preservative. Molds and yeast may contaminate milk. They are capable of growing at much higher acid environments than bacteria likely to be found in the milk. They utilize the organic acid, chiefly lactic acid, and make the acid more alkaline in reaction. Conditions now become favorable for the rapid decomposition of milk protein by growth of putrefactive bacteria. As a rule, several weeks are required for putrefactive changes to occur. The utilization of acid occurs at a faster rate if the milk is placed in shallow, well-aerated layers. This is the general cycle of changes that occur in the raw milk when allowed to stand at a ordinary temperature. Microorganisms in the milk and milk products are present as a mixed culture and in associate action is generally responsible for causing many biochemical changes. The type of interaction among these microorganisms is synergism, metabiosis, and antibiosis. Synergism is the combined biochemical activity of two microorganisms or more microorganisms, which is not possible by either of them alone. The metabiosis is metabolic end products of one group of microorganisms are utilized as a substrate by others. Chain type of metabolic activity. And in antibiosis, the growth of one organism either kills or inhibits the growth of other organisms. Specific physical and chemical changes are induced in milk and milk products by metabolic activities of microorganisms. Sometimes these metabolic changes are significant for preparation and improvement of the quality of milk products. However, many times the biochemical changes caused by microorganisms in milk are undesirable and unacceptable. Following some important biochemical changes are discussed in the undesirable and desirable changes in the milk. The first is the soaring of the milk. Production of acidic products. Although the fermentation of lactose in the milk is significant for preparation of milk products, excessive acid formation is usually unacceptable and considered as a spoilage. The biochemical process responsible for soaring of milk is represented in homolactic and heterolactic fermentation. That is, we make the milk sour to prepare the milk products like yogurt or dahi, curd. But if the fermentation is excessive, then undesirable this desirable change is converted into undesirable change, and souring or excessive souring of the milk occurs. The group of bacteria involved in the souring of milk at a moderate temperature are streptococci, coliforms, enterococci, lactobacilli, and micrococci. At higher temperatures, the thermophilic species of lactic acid bacteria such as Lactobacillus bulgaris, Streptococcus thermophilus, and Streptococcus faecalis are involved in excessive acid formation. The next point in the spoilage or undesirable change in the milk is gas production. Gas production by bacteria is usually accomplished by acid formation, and with few exceptions, it is undesirable in milk and milk products. The grassy cream is rejected. The grassy cream is rejected for butter making. However, it may be useful in squeezed cheese, where where its controlled production gives desirable texture to characteristic eye formation. The chief gas formers are the coliforms, Clostridium species, Bacillus species, which produces carbon dioxide and hydrogen. The yeast, propionic acid bacteria, and heterofermentative lactic acid bacteria produces only carbon dioxide due to the lack of enzyme formate hydrogen lyase. The gas formation is evidenced by the foam at the top, floating curd containing gas bubbles, or by a ripping apart of the curd by rapid gas production causing so-called stormy fermentation of milk. In pasteurized milk and milk products, the spore formers, that is species of Bacillus and Clostridium, are predominant gas formers. The propionic acid bacteria are not involved in gas production in milk but can produce carbon dioxide in cheese. Then next is the stormy fermentation, that is gas production. The organisms of Clostridium perfringens produces a condition in milk known as stormy fermentation. It is a strongly saccharolytic organism rapidly fermenting lactose of milk with the production of acid and gas. The curd becomes torn to shreds by the vigorous fermentation and gas production. The acid prevents further growth of the organism with the result that the milk proteins are not attacked. Clostridium perfringens is a strictly anaerobic spore forming organism of widespread occurrence in nature. It is found in the feces of animals and man, in sewage and in soil. The microorganism is generally considered to be the most important etiological agent of gas gangrene. The Clostridium perfringens is a short, thick rod measuring about 1 to 1.5 by 4 to 8 microns, occurring singly or in pairs, less frequently in short chains. Spores are ovoid, central to concentric. No swelling, no swelling in the cells. The spores are not destroyed during pasteurization. So the stormy fermentation occurs in the milk.